What's up, Dupe City fam? Welcome back to the Unmagical series by Dupe City Co. I'm back from a few days off over Independence Day weekend, and today we are recreating Magic Candle Company's Flying Over Fiji / Banshee Flight Candles. This Ocean Breeze fragrance oil, the same exact fragrance oil that the Magic Candle Company uses for these products, can be purchased from Candle Science for just $2.65 an ounce. Now, I'd like to remind everyone that Dupe City Co. is in no way affiliated with the MCC, nor do I make any profit from any of the products that I recreate. My only purpose here is to help you help yourself. As a reminder, I've linked all the supplies you'll need below to create your very own candles for just a fraction of the cost. Just follow along in the video and you'll have your own quote-unquote Disney candles in no time, literally in about 15 minutes. And after the video, we'll test burn a candle and I'll give you my final thoughts. As always, please like and subscribe to be notified every time I release new Unmagical content, which is a few times a week. Let's get started. Alright, so we are going to start as we always do and clean out our tins. I don't show that part today, but I have done it. And of course, we are going to be using this fragrance right here, Ocean Breeze by Candle Science. This is not a Disney scent. This is not a Magic Candle Company scent. This is probably not even a Candle Science scent. I'm sure that they bought it from a supplier somewhere else, but it's a great scent. The fragrance notes listed for this are ozone, citrus, honeydew melon, violet, oak moss, and ozone. Is it a great scent for Fiji or Banshee flight? Well, you'll have to wait until the end where I give my opinion. Now that our candle tins are cleaned out using a paper towel and some rubbing alcohol, I am going to prep these for the wax. And we're going to do that by cleaning off the wick tabs. We're going to attach the wick stickers to the tabs. We're going to insert the wicks, the wooden wicks, the crackling wooden wicks, into the wick tabs. And then we're going to stick it all together, trim the wick, and then we will pour the wax. So as I just stated, the wick that we're using today is a crackling wood wick from the Wood and Wick Co. And of course, I'll link that below for you guys. These are the best wicks that I have found yet. And this wick is about 1/2 millimeter thick and 0.625 inches width across from the top, from side to side. So you're going to get a very loud crackling burn. They're going to burn very well. It's just a really good quality. Along with our wicks today, as usual, we are going to be using our silver wick tabs here. They are just pretty standard when you're working with wood wicks. They clip the wick in nice and snug so that it doesn't slide out when you're burning the candle. We're going to clean those wick tabs off with the same paper towel and rubbing alcohol that we used to clean the tins with, just to get rid of that dirt and debris that may be lurking and could also cause your tabs to not stick properly. And, you know, as we've mentioned before, floaty wick is not fun. Let's apply our double-sided wick stickers. We're just going to stick it on and peel the other side, and then place it inside of the inner circle of your candle tin, just like this. Now, you could put your wick in before you placed the wick tab. Either way is fine. Here we're placing our wick inside the tab, then we're affixing the double-sided wick sticker, and then we're going to place it into the tin. Either way is perfect. So now we're going to trim the wicks for the first time. We will trim again after we pour the wax just to get it to the right 1/8 size, but for now you're just going to place your scissors across the top of the tin. You want them touching. You're going to hold your wick with one hand, cut with the other slowly. We're going to use that in the other candle, just like this. We're going to repeat the process. We're going to put the scissors over top of the tin and then cut slowly. Now it's time to double boil our wax. We're going to set this aside and set up for that. Let's set up our scale to weigh out our wax. Now each candle is going to hold approximately 5 ounces of wax. We're making 2 candles, so we want 10 ounces of wax. This wax is ProBlend 600 Parasoy container wax, sold by The Flaming Candle. Now this wax is parasoy because it is 52% soy and 48% paraffin. This is a smooth, creamy wax that offers a really great scent throw. It's very easy to work with and it requires just a single pour. That means that when the candle cools, you don't need to top it off to fill up any divots because the candle cools evenly on top. Now, I've used the wax melter in the last few candle videos, but today we're going to double boil this. I'm doing this because even though the wax melter is easier, I want you all to see just how quick and easy double boiling is. It really takes no effort. And there's a trick for telling when your wax is done if you don't have a kitchen thermometer, and we'll get to that in just a second. This wax has been melting for about 10 minutes. We don't ever want the water to come to a full boil. This is to keep water out of the wax because, as I've said before, water and wax don't mix well. It doesn't make for a good candle. It actually doesn't make for a candle at all. You're not going to be able to light a sloshy candle. So keep it on a medium to low boil, and as it melts, you're going to note how translucent the wax gets. It's cloudy right now, but as we keep melting, you're going to see that wax clear up. And when the temperature reaches to between 175 and 185, you're going to start to see all the way through the wax. The cloudiness will be gone. That's when you know that you've reached temperature if you don't have a kitchen thermometer. As you can see, at 167 degrees Fahrenheit, the wax is very cloudy. But as that temperature climbs, you can see the wax get more translucent until it's around 184, 185 where we can see clearly through it. Once you can see clearly through your wax, don't let it stay on the heat too much longer. We don't want to scorch it. It's safe to take off, wipe down, and immediately add your color. Once again, we are using coloring from Candle Science. This is cheap and it's so simple to use. We're using the dye block color. I'm using seafoam because if you've seen any picture in the South Pacific, that shallow water, say like in Bora Bora or even around Fiji, it's always that real light pretty seafoam color. But I want to add another hint of maybe a darker blue, so we're going to use Caribbean blue dye from Candle Science as well. I'm going to use about 1/3 of the seafoam dye block and just a few chips of the Caribbean blue to give it a really pretty calypso blue color. And because the dye blocks are a solid, this is going to take a little bit longer to mix in than it would to mix in the liquid color. Make sure you stir this until all of the coloring dye block chunks are fully dissolved. Now it's time to add the fragrance to the wax mixture. We are going to set our scale on an even surface and place the pitcher of wax on top. We're going to tear out the scale so we can measure out exactly 1 ounce of fragrance. Now remember, that's ½ an ounce per candle. I'm also going to check the temperature to make sure that it's not too hot as to not burn off any fragrance. So as I said earlier in the video, the fragrance we're using today is the same fragrance the Magic Candle Company uses. They get theirs just like the rest of us from Candle Science and other places, but today's comes from Candle Science. It is Ocean Breeze. This is a 4-ounce bottle, and you can get just a 1-ounce bottle for $2.65 an ounce. After we pour our 1 ounce of fragrance into our 10 ounces of wax, we are going to stir for no less than 2 minutes. I will say this every time we mix wax. We really want to make sure it's fully incorporated. This is a very important step. And now that our wax is fully mixed, we are ready to pour. We're going to use our scale because we're making more than 1 candle, and we want to make sure there's at least 5.5 ounces in each candle tin. So using your scale, place your prepared candle tin on top of the scale, tear it out to 0, and then you're going to just pour in 5.5 ounces. It's that simple. Because your wax is hot and hot wax equals super duper ouchies, you're going to carefully take the filled candle tin from your scale and place it next to you. You're going to place the empty tin on the scale and fill that one with 5.5 ounces of wax as well. I am going to carefully place the lids on both of these candles and let cool for 24 hours. And just a day later, we have these beautiful candles right here ready to burn. As you can see, the color is fan-freaking-tastic. The option to add that little bit of Caribbean blue to the seafoam, I feel like made it realistic. And you'll see later on with some of the melt pool when it burns, it really gives such a great contrast and reminds you of the shallow water and the deep water next to each other in the South Pacific. Go look it up. You'll see what I mean. But overall, this is a great scent. However, I hate it. That's just me being honest. This scent reminds me of straight disappointment, and that's because this is farthest from the Fiji scent I have ever smelled. If you want a better option, and I don't always condone using dupes, but if you want a better option, there is a fragrance made by Bath & Body Works called Turquoise Waters. That is so much better as an option for the actual Fiji scent than this. And the reason being, this scent has way too much melon in it. If you have ridden Soarin' And if you're honest with yourself, you're going to admit, hey, there's no melon on this ride. None whatsoever. That's why I hate this fragrance so much when it's used as a Disney fragrance. Otherwise, it's beautiful, it's great, you're gonna love it. It really is good. It just seems that when the decision to use this particular fragrance from Candle Science was made, it was more of a convenience, as in, you know, it's close enough, let's go with it. So we are here at the very end. I'm off to make my next Disney DIY video. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe below to be notified every time we release new content, which is a few times a week. Thanks for watching.